Hey everybody, it's Cody Lockwood from LockwoodsLoot, just doing another episode of the weekly comic review. Now last week, unfortunately, was the first week in quite some time that I had missed doing the review. Stuff happens, I get excited and I run out of the comic shop, and then hours later I'm like, shoot, I forgot the comic. So that was the first time. I apologize if you guys were anticipating the books that I had reviewed. So I've got one book that I had to do from last week. And then I'm going to start doing the weekly reviews a little bit different. I'm still going to try to do them Wednesday morning or late Tuesday night. But what also I'm going to do is what else is in my pull list. You know, I normally do a review on 4 to 6 books. But that's just a fraction of what else I'm getting. So I'll kind of go over some other books that I feel are a speculation or a good read or a must-have. We've been talking, my buddy Danny Lane and I from Collector Kings. I believe that's your hashtag. Danny, throw that in there. I've been talking about doing a website for speculation, for online sales, for videos, for just talking about upcoming comics and what we want to do and what we're doing. So that's in the works. That'll hopefully happen. All right, so I'm just going to dive in. So from this week, we had Images God Complex. We had Action Labs, The Danger Doll Squad, Dan Mendoza, my dude. Images Sacred Creatures. And then this, Images Tomahawk. This was by far my favorite. So we'll get back into all of this. So the book from last week that I wanted to do was Sean Murphy's Batman the White Knight. Hopefully you guys can all see that. I still need to come up with a proper way to do the video so I can see what the heck's going on. Hopefully I can still do that with my phone. If anyone knows a setting that I can do on the phone so I can actually see the screen, because right now I'm just showing you guys something and I have no idea what it looks like to you, and I have no idea what you're saying to me, so I still want to figure the best way out. I don't want to necessarily sit in front of my computer or a laptop, but if that's what I eventually have to do, I guess that's what I eventually have to do. Anyways, Sean Murphy with Hollingsworth. Matt Hollingsworth was doing all of the coloring in this book. Sean Murphy scripted, wrote, did the art, does the covers. This man is a genius. If you've ever read any of his stuff, you're going to be a fan of this book. If you've never read any of his stuff, do yourself a favor. Go out and Punk Rock Jesus, Joe the Barbarian, Chrononauts, about most the Punk Rock Jesus do. I feel everyone should read that. I feel like they should teach this book in school. It's amazing. Sean Murphy was awesome. I had an opportunity early in the year to meet him and get some original artwork, which was a dream come true. I've been a fan of his for quite a while. So anyways, Batman the White Knight picks up, of course, with the classic Batman chasing the Joker. And if you guys aren't familiar with Sean Murphy's artwork, here it is. You know, really dark, really gritty, really edgy, sketchy, really dramatic. He has a very stylized aspect to his artwork. But it's Batman chasing the Joker, and we see Nightwing, we see Robin, we see Batgirl, and they're all trying to. Batman has this anger, this rage in him, and he's ignoring everything else, and nothing else has any consequences. He's set on his goal to capture the Joker. And he does, and this whole story is about what happens when someone goes too far. The Joker, maybe Joker has a comeback, revelation. In the end of it, it's Joker is trying to show light on Batman that he is not this great hero. Kind of that Joker is the one who's been traumatized and looked down as a bad guy. So really interesting book. Joker is actually the White Knight of Gotham City. It's amazing. I can't wait to read the rest. It's going to be a 8-part series. Do yourself a favor. Put it on your pull list nationwide. It helps all of the comic shops know what to order, how to order, so it really helps. If you want a book, put it on a pull list. best way to go. Sacred Creatures, this is issue 4. So finally we get even more information. I've been following this book. If you guys have watched any of my previous weekly reviews, I always do this when it comes out. You know, and it's funny because every issue that comes out, I'm like, oh, I know what's going on. This is happening. And then the next one, I'm like, oh, actually, sorry, it's not that, it's this. And now they do that again to us. So we were introduced, we realized that all the people, they were the 7 deadly sins. So we had wrath, lust, greed, sloth, pride, gluttony, and envy. Then we had Naviel the angel, and then we had Naviel's son. So we thought they were fallen angels. We thought they were vampires at first. All of this comes to light. They're the 7 deadly sins. But then we find out again in this issue. Oh, P.S. There are no, you know, if you're not if you don't want spoilers, tune out now. So because I'm talking about the books. But obviously, still read them. There's so much more than I'm just going to give you just a bit. But we find out, you know, they're not just the 7 deadly sins. They're something else. And we see the backstory of Naviel, the fallen angel. Great story, and again, it leads us right at the end, you know, wanting more, and crazy scenes in this. One of the 7 deadly sins, lust, or Pulchra, or Sophia. She's got many different names. She has the ability, because she's lust, to make people go crazy. So there's a lot of naked people in this. And it's quite amusing. She's trying to detract and try to capture the some humans, and so she turns all these other humans against them through lust. Very enjoyable. Great book, Sacred Creatures. Check it out. Issue 4 out today. Next up, Danger Doll Squad. This is obviously, I'm a big fan of Dan Mendoza with Zombie Tramp and Vamp Blade. Soon to come out his own company with some Sugar Pop and Psycho Baby. Those characters are going to be hit. I can't wait. Stay tuned to my LockwoodsLoot page. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to have an exclusive cover for the issue 1 of Psycho Baby. And if you want to try to help make that happen, just tune in to LockwoodsLoot. Let me know as soon as you see a post that you want to be a part of having the own LockwoodsLoot exclusive. So this issue 0 took us. All 3 of the girls came together. They all hate each other. They all want to kill and murder each other. But there's a bigger threat. They called it a Techno-Glarkian Necro. So basically the Necronomicon got technically advanced, and the Glarkians, the vampire people from outer space, became upgraded through the internet. So craziness, I know it sounds crazy, but they're all in the digital world of Ivan, so we get to see Ivan in more of a human form instead of the silly little pervy ghost, but he's still a very pervy little ghost. And we see, my favorite, we see Dollface being reverted to the alpha form, which is my favorite, with the longer hair and the, the alpha form. But very Tron feeling. They get these cool costumes, Tron, because it's all digital, and they ride these awesome bikes in a Tron setting. So we're soon going to see him fight the Techno-Necro-Glarkians. Fun story. I'm still partial to the Zombie Tramp solo and the Dollface solo, but this is a fun way to put all 3 girls together, and it's very lighthearted and fun. So check it out. Obviously, the Dan Mendoza cover is my favorite. I'm a little partial. There is multiple risque variants, so check it out. Next up is God Complex. Image. I really wanted to love this book. The cover looks outstanding. The artwork is amazing. Maybe it was late last night. To be honest, I couldn't get into the story, so I'm going to give it another shot. Because it looks really cool, but I just could not get into it. It was so wordy, and I know that sounds horrible, but sorry, God Complex, I couldn't do it. I'm gonna try it again because it looks like a very engaging story. Up next, talking about engaging story. Up next is Image's A Tomahawk. Now, this is Danny Cates' new project. Danny Cates is doing Baby Teeth, so if you like Baby Teeth, God Country Redneck, he just put out a graphic novel, Buzzkill. So he's the writer, the scripter. A Tomahawk. This is the quote from Grant Morrison. Okay, are you guys ready? A tomahawk is a screaming black hole feedback squall of death metal, Kirby cosmic with the 3Ks, Kirby cosmic energy spinning straight towards your prefrontal cortex. I couldn't barely get that out. So yeah, it's just that. It's crazy. It reminds me, a lot of the artwork is like the old traditional flash art. In fact, in several occasions, he does inspiration and tattoo pages. So, as you can see here, these are some of his tattoos. You know, the whole comic book feels like he had a story and he was tattooing these characters, and then it was successful. People liked it, so he put this crazy story together. It follows the Cyber Zerker. You know, we're in a future space world. And the tomahawk is an ancient axe with magical powers. Of course, everyone wants it. We've got robots and androids. It felt very heavy metal feel. Even the format. I mean, it's magazine size. It's big. This is the back cover. It's freaking awesome. So if you're a fan of unique, original, crazy, wacky sci-fi adventures, you know, in the heavy metal field, this is for you. Look, the interior is amazing. It's split up in 3 different little stories, little sections. It's great. It's very dynamic, easy reading. Danny really does a great job of telling this epic story. You know, I felt like I was watching maybe old Ralph Bakshi movie or something like that. So. A Tomahawk, get it now. I feel like this is going to be a hot book. Probably wasn't heavily ordered. It's a weird magazine size. You know, we all want to like those, but where do we put those, you know, in our comic book collection? So that's issue 0, A Tomahawk, Image Comics. Pick it up today. If you enjoy the Kirby cosmic energy spinning straight towards your prefrontal cortex, as Grant Morrison says. All right, so that's everything for my weekly review. So that was 4 books from this week and 1 book from last week, the White Knight. So there's some great books out there. So I'm gonna just quickly go over a couple other books that are in my pull list. Weapon X. This has been a no-brainer, people. Weapon H has more dynamic, more story. If you guys were watching earlier in the season, I was doing all of the Totally Awesome Hulk and Weapon X leading through the story of Weapon H. Marvel has announced that Weapon H is going to stick around for a while, so get used to the character. He's a badass. So there he is, Weapon H, in the Weapon X comic book, soon to be in his own. All right, this is the Dangerous Doll Squad Risque cover. There it is. If you want to see it, come in and buy a copy. Dan Mendoza, you are the king. Some other books that are maybe off the radar. A lot of the books that I do, I feel, are off the radar, not your normal. I was looking at some weekly top review or top hot books, but all of those books I feel like are books that everyone's already going to pick up. So there's plenty other books out there besides the main, you know, DC and Marvel. So this is J.P. Roth's Ancient Dream. Beautiful covers. Every book is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And probably a really low print run. I'm not certain what their print run is, but I know they don't do a lot. Theory of Magic, another one. Sabine Rich does this, so if you're a Sabine fan, check it out. I know a few of you are. Theory of Magic. All right, of course, Marvel Legacy started last week, so we've got a few of the Marvel Legacy books here. The Despicable Deadpool. So this is the first in this title, so technically an issue 1, but really it's the Legacy. They're going back to the original numbering, so every Deadpool issue is now connected. So this is the 287th Deadpool comic book. Check it out. There's an amazing lithograph cover. They're doing an homage. So this one is the Amazing Spider-Man 129. So the first appearance of Punisher, and then they homage it with the Despicable Deadpool 287. So really clever, great. Art Germ. I know a lot of you guys are fans of Art Germ. This is the Supergirl issue 14 variant. This is probably the third one in a row, and every single one sells out instantly from Diamond. They're going to hit the shelf at above cover price. You can absolutely get your normal issue 14 on the shelf, and if you can find one of these on the shelf at cover price, do it. If you can find this on the shelf for a double cover price, still do it. Art Germ, it's a great book. Metal, Dark Knight's Metal came out today. That's another no-brainer. The Oz Effect has been very successful for Action Labs, and this is an amazing... DC is killing it with the lenticular covers. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but DC is doing great. Ragman issue 1 came out today. I do want to read this. I'll probably read this tonight. They're bringing back a character that we haven't seen in a long time. So Ragman issue 1, you should definitely go and check that out. That's just going to be a little mini-series, a 6-part mini-series. Wicked and Divine, we all know this is a top book. If you're not familiar, trade paperbacks are only $10 for the first trade paperback of Wicked and Divine. Picture ancient gods and deities being reincarnated every 80 years. In 18-year-old bodies, they live 2 years. The host body dies another 80 years. So think of what they've done of all of history and time. They're hiding their powers, hiding who they truly are. But now in today's culture and society, they're like, all right, the cards are up. Let's be God. So really great storytelling. Sacred Creatures, that was another copy. That was my copy there with Lust on the cover. Retcon, I did issue 1 review. And I said, I liked it. I wanted it to be wackier, so I'm going to try issue 2. I'll probably read this here real soon. Black Science, of course, everyone should be reading Black Science. Rick Remender is, that book is awesome. Suicide Squad, this is the variant for, that I picked up. I love this artist. He did the Rat Queen stuff, and Flash. So that concludes my whole pull list and everything. I am going to go pick up the Amazing Spider-Man lenticular and the Deadpool lenticular. I do want to pick up. I forgot to grab those. So that is everything. Again, I am Cody Lockwood. You've been watching Lockwood's Loot Weekly Review. Stay tuned. Have a good day, everyone.